What's up, y'all? I am Marcus, also known as ENB, and welcome back to From the Dark, Dark Souls Let's Play, where we are covering all kind of lore and strategies and just trying to do everything that we can, man. We're going to do everything that we can with this game. One thing, sorry that the videos are a little bit short right now. Sorry that they're not coming as fast as you might like. I'm in the middle of a move, so it will be kind of hit and miss over the next couple of days. Like a glorious sun. In addition to giving us some perspective of exactly how high Lordran actually is above the surrounding land, and being one of my overall just kind of favorite little locations in the game, this particular point also has a very important NPC who's got some really good dialogues for us. This gentleman right here.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
First of all, oh hello, you don't look hollow, far from it. Is that sarcasm, Solaire? Because Crestfallen guy at the Crestfallen warrior at Firelink has already informed us that our face were practically hollow. I wonder if he can. Well, I mean, you can obviously tell by how someone's acting that they're not hollow, but yeah, I don't know. The next thing in that dialogue, he just said, I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. So he's claiming to be from the land of Astora. And we'll find out more about Astora as we proceed. But the Lord of Sunlight is Gwyn. So he's saying he's a follower of Lord Gwyn. Now that I am undead, so Solaire has become an undead. And this is really interesting because earlier on we were speculating, we were talking about, well, maybe it's hereditary, maybe it's passed down through families. That is the dark sign, the undead curse. Maybe it's passed on like that, but he became undead at some point. And it's interesting if maybe people don't realize that they are an undead the first time they actually die, perhaps. We don't know. But he has another interesting dialogue about this later, so please just remember this point. Lordran, known as the birthplace of Lord Gwyn in the outside. So in the outside world, this legendary land of ancient lords is known as the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, or at least in Astora, at least to Solaire. That's how he thinks of this place. That's the significance of Lordran, is that it's where Gwyn was born. And if he's the chief god in the pantheon of the world, then it would make sense that his birthplace would be kind of significant. He also says he's seeking his own son. Perhaps he's seeking to link the fire. This is something I forgot to talk about when I was at Firelink Shrine, but the Japanese name for Firelink Shrine makes it a whole lot more apparent what's actually going on there. Like, Firelink in English, it doesn't mean much, or rather, it could mean many different things, but the Japanese name for Firelink Shrine is a whole lot clearer. It means something like, if you translate it literally, it means something more like the successor of the flame's ritual place. Like, the name has three key components to it: successor of the flame, ritual, and place. And it makes it pretty clear that it is the place for the ritual for the person who's going to inherit the flame. And it's I don't know. We talk about what's the significance of linking the flames, what does linking the flame actually mean, but in the Japanese it's something more akin to inherit the flame, which kind of makes things a little bit more explicit. Let's continue the dialogue with Mr. Solaire.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be a mere chance? This is kind of another key point, I think, is that some undead are able to hold on to their sanity far more than others. Even though we're this hollowed, we still not fully hollowed. Like we've lost our body, our skin has rotted away, we're very decayed, but our mind is still intact. And that's something that you don't see pretty often. And you can say it's because the player is special, is the chosen one. You can say, well, it's just that way because you are the player, or like there's lots of different ways to look at it, but the point is it is kind of a special thing, and Solaire recognizes that as well.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land, and I wonder which beings specifically he's referring to. Probably not undead, because I guess that's not too strange to him. He's an undead himself, and they appear to be kind of everywhere in the world. But this certainly is a strange land. The next bit of dialogue, it's one of the irritating points to me about Dark Souls lore, if I'm perfectly honest, but the flow of time is convoluted. Time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. And I don't like it because in some ways it seems like a cop-out. It's just too easy of a mechanism, you know, you can explain anything away with, oh, well, time's convoluted. But they do try to stay pretty limited in how they use it, and from a design perspective it makes sense because they can actually show us some of the important heroes throughout the history of this world, all in one time period. And so I mean it works all right, I guess, but time is distorted, so there is a little bit of a time / dimension thing going on. The fabric wavers and relations shift and obscure.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
That line, among a few other things, is one of the main reasons why a lot of people suspect that Solaire is the firstborn son of Lord Gwyn, and we'll talk about the firstborn when we collect more evidence for it later in the playthrough, but just remember that line of dialogue, because why is that ground so black? I wonder what's going on here. Oh my! Now, they do give you a hint that that's going to happen. That blackened earth right up there is pretty... It's intended as a hint that something's going to go down. Still, this is probably one of the cheaper deaths in Dark Souls to this dragon. In the original unpatched version, when I say the original unpatched version, I'm not talking about the original unpatched North American version. I'm talking about when I first played it in Japan. The original unpatched Japanese version, which actually is different from the North American one. Actually, there were 4 patches in Japan, I think, before the game came out in North America. But originally, the Hellkite Drake on this bridge continued breathing fire as you were trying to run down the bridge. You really actually did have to sprint, and it was kind of a pain in the ass. Like, in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it was a pain in the ass. He would keep doing that over and over and over while you were trying to sprint down the bridge. Now, I don't think he actually does that unless you're around this area. A lot of people like to buff their weapon up with gold pine resin right here, and then as soon as he tries to fly down, like this, they want to run here and cut his tail. Oh, I needed pine resin to make that work, though. Woo! You can cut his tail off like that, basically, is the point. Mercy. Again? Well, shit. Gonna be difficult to light this. Or not. And originally, there was a glitch where he would fly off and just die by himself, too, so... He or she, I don't know. Or if it even matters. Oh, wow. They sneak that shit around, man. Why did it auto-adjust? Why is it auto-adjusting there? God bless it. Hold on. Fine, come in here and get wrecked. Me. What the fuck? Brenda! Holy crap, I'm getting my ass kicked by hollows. Ace. Those crossbows are incredible. Where'd he go? Where'd Spear Guy go? Oh, there you are. Get kicked. Get killed. Shit. I don't know why the lock-on kept swapping over here. It's causing me problems. Love how the crossbow bolts actually curve their path there. Alright. I'm actually trying to get the dragon to come back. Where you at, Hellkite? Nope. Not yet. There we go. We'll walk a little bit over here. Is this gonna trigger you? How far do I have to go, man? Already flew off once and not gonna come back. Oh no! I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The Drake should be coming back. I need it to come back because we're not done with its sorry tail. Rest at the bonfire and see if that helps. I did pick up a weapon that we'll probably be using a bit of later, this Claymore. I'm thinking to do maybe kind of a quality build with this character, so... Come on, Hellkite. It got me on my foot. Alright, let's try this. There we go. Sometimes it just doesn't trigger the way it's supposed to. Hellkite is actually supposed to come back when you run back down across that bridge, so just as a heads up. Alright. Now, this feels old school as hell right here. Oh shit. Come on now. Ah. Oh no! Ooh, there we go. Coming under the bridge here, in the first place, you can see back across into the Undead Burg, and that's really awesome. I think this rampart over here with the broken wall, this is actually, yeah, no, this is definitely where we fought the tar steam, and you can actually see the ladder where we climbed up and dealt with the crossbowmen over there. And then we walked around this way to get to the bridge, and that tower is where the tar steam was actually taking his nice little nap up there. And here you can see down the scaffolding where the firebomb throwers were before, the tower where the crossbow trap was, the stairs where the flame boulder or flame barrel trap was. Really cool that you can see all that. On this side, what do we got? This looks like, yep, that's the entrance into the Undead Burg. So Firelink Shrines over that way. There's the door that I always felt like you could get to, but you can't. And then this is where Hellkite Drake first pounces down at you. And then you go over there and, yeah, the bonfire's right over here actually. Well, I mean, we know that for sure because we can get the shortcut to it. Now, this is old school tactics right here. Like, this is day one of release. We were doing this. Get your short bow. Get your wooden arrows. Yeah. Shooting the tail. Trying to shoot the tail. I haven't done it since, like, that first playthrough. Oh, I forgot you can shoot it when it comes close. I completely forgot how to do this because it's been so long. But if you shoot the tail enough times... Oh shit. Okay, you gotta move your crosshairs a little bit. You can get a special sword. The Flying Dragon Sword, as we called it back in the day. I'm just gonna fast forward this part. Drake Sword. Or, as we used to call it, the Flying Dragon Sword, the FDS, son. Some common mistakes when trying to get this are using a bow when you don't meet the stat requirements. Like, particularly the dex requirement, people struggle to meet. You have to have at least 12 for the short bow here. Running on the bridge and using the gold pine resin on your sword and cutting the tail that way is another method. I kind of demonstrated how to do that earlier. I'm looking at that tower over there. Interesting. I wonder what... We'll check it out from above on the bridge. Flying Dragon Sword, the Drake Sword. Requires 16 strength to use one-handed, although you can use it two-handed with, I guess, 12. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by a drake's tail. Drakes are seen as undeveloped imitators of the dragons, but in they are likely their distant kin. The sword is imbued with a mystical power to be released when held with both hands. Drakes are seen as undeveloped imitators of the dragons, but in they are likely their distant kin. I guess that "in" is not supposed to be there, but they are likely to be their distant kin. Hellkite Drakes are pretty rough son of a gun, honestly. Let's see, we've got 13 strength, so we can almost wield that one-handed. The Claymore also takes 16 strength, so we will be going up to 16 strength either way. We can already wield it like this, but it is heavier than a normal sword. God, it's been so long since I've even had this on a character. I forgot all about this sword, man. And it's funny because I had like the first video on the internet showing how to get it, and just, I don't know. Yeah, I think everybody at that time was in love with this weapon. The reason it's bad, by the way, the reason it's not bad, it fits a certain role. If you look at your longsword attack, right here on physical, it's got 80 plus 21s coming from scaling. This param bonus, C for strength, C for dex, is giving us this plus 21 based off our stats. The base damage is 80, but all told it's got an attack power of 101. The Drake sword, right out of the box, has got 200 attack power. Now, it doesn't have any param bonus, so it's never going to benefit at all from scaling, only from being upgraded. So right now, it does almost twice as much damage. And in fact, in a lot of cases, it probably will do about twice as much damage as the longsword. But as we level up our character, this won't get stronger and this will. So yeah, it's just how that goes, I guess. See if we can make this run. Sorry about your tail. Come on now, don't be sore. No tail to chop on now. Uh-oh. Sometimes Hellkite decides to be an asshole, and that's just how it is. Alright, we've rested. 178 from one R1 there. If we use, not that, if we use the longsword, 71. So more than twice the damage. And the reason it's more than twice the damage, even though it's not more than twice the attack power, is due to the way defenses work in this game. So there's that. Oh wait, hold on. We still can't fast roll with it. That's okay. We will be back here. This is an important statue. But we'll be back here later in the game. We don't have anything much to say about it right yet. But I did notice a watchtower right over there. I wonder which... No, that can't be. I'm curious which watchtower that is. Might be one that we can't access. Or is that... Huh. I don't know. We'll just keep paying attention as we proceed in that direction. Can open this up though. Alright, first things first, let's level up. Let's get our 16 strength. And then let's take 20 endurance. Kind of a good start to things. Oh, we can fast roll. Kind of. With the Drake sword now. One shot. very, very useful at this point in the game. Now, going up here might screw me up. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can parry this guy. Way too fast. Ooh, I'm not fast rolling at all. Hell, I'm smoking. There we go. Mm-mm. Nice. So, a couple of parries with the Drake Sword, and that job's done. We also got a very lucky drop here. Black Knight Greatsword. Greatsword of the Black Knights who wander Lordran, used to face Chaos Demons. The large motion that puts the weight of the body into the attack reflects the great size of their adversaries long ago. So, Black Knights fought Chaos Demons with these weapons. And Chaos Demons are quite large. As are Taurus Demons. It's quite a decent weapon too, honestly, but we ain't got the strength for all that. Drake Sword made short work of this dude. Fucking flying death. Flying Dragon Sword, fucking death, son. The FDS. In case you're wondering why it was called the Flying Dragon Sword, that was just my kind of literal translation of what the Japanese was. Can't remember if it was Hiryu no Ken, I think is what it was. Let's see. Cannot make this jump, but I always try it. Oh my god, I always try it. Can't help but try it. Everybody who ever played this game, try that. Once again, this statue here, very similar to the one in Firelink Shrine. If not the same one, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch my own video to figure out if it was really the same one. Guess I should show this. Probably gonna get poisoned coming down here, but whatever. Oh shit. I knew I was gonna get poisoned. This is normally not the way that you approach this area. So this leads to the bridge that we just came from. This is the bridge where we dealt with Hellkite Drake. Hold on, let me see if I can use this special move. Two-handed R2 of the FDS, the fucking Death Sun. Oh, I didn't quite reach. Fuck. I was really hoping it would. Damn! There you go. I just want to show these kind people that this is indeed where I said it was. That's all. There we go. And you remember this place. So this is probably the main way, I would say, is you're supposed to fight these soldiers and then deal with these rats on that narrow ledge, which is it's actually a really nasty little trap, to be honest. Because particularly at this point in the game, you're unlikely to have the purple moss that you need as an antidote for the poison. So you're going to burn a ton of Estus flasks. And then you can't open this gate from this side to get to the bonfire to rest. If you do get poisoned, it has to be opened from this side using the lever. So only if you run under the dragon can you open up this shortcut and have access to that bonfire. Which makes it a lot safer when you're challenging the Black Knight, I would also like to add. One thing about the Drake Sword, the FDS's special move, is it very, very quickly drains the weapon's durability. So you gotta keep an eye on that. Here we go. This is fun. Whoa. There's one special hollow soldier right there. Oh god, he blocked it. I'm not gonna get to use this special move on anybody. Basement key. Maybe I can get you guys with it. So satisfying. That one soldier who came and closed the gate, he doesn't respawn. And if you make that run as quickly as I did just right there, it's obviously no problem to get over here and take him out. But if you don't manage to open the gate, then you have to go through this whole area over here, which, you know, we will deal with it. We're gonna charge me. This whole area plays out a lot differently if you don't make that run. First of all, we can get some alluring skulls up here. Where you at? There you are. A skull with meekly lingering souls. Throw to shatter and spread souls to attract certain types of enemies. Souls are a concentration of life, and the life-starved hollows are lured by its power. Not effective for all enemies. Souls are a concentration of life. And if you throw that soul into this fire, or near it, the boar is going to freak out, set himself on fire, and then run over there for a little while like bugging out. If you get it in the fire, you can get him to just stand there in the fire and get burned all damn day. Another thing we can do... Oh shit, I missed. Here. Oh, I missed. There we go. No, I got it. You can do a dropping attack on him. And no lucky drop. Sometimes he drops a helmet, but it's just a lot of people say it depends on whether or not you fall on him from above or you burn him in the fire or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's just a random drop. That looks painful. That's a really big axe. I don't know why they had to set him on fire after they did that shit. That's brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. I know you're here. Get out of here. Get out of here. But once again, FDS is pretty fucking powerful at this particular juncture in the game. Now, if you didn't rush and he managed to close that gate, then you're gonna have to take this route. We actually need to come down here anyway because we don't have the master key, and there's actually a key down here that we want to get a hold of. He is leading us into an ambush. Trying to lead us into an ambush. Oh, this is perfect. Well, almost perfect. I got a couple of them. I was hoping to take out the whole hallway. There's another location where I'll try that again later. You guys probably know where I'm talking about. Oh, you're dead. Ooh. There we go, now I can move. Blocking is effective. Mystery key. Now, on the steps out there, we picked up the basement key, and I forgot to read the description, but this is something a lot of people didn't know where to go, and just, I don't know, they never read the key, I guess. Opens the narrow passage leading below at the far face of the Great Bridge in the Undead Burg. The lower Undead Burg is a treacherous place. Do not turn your back on the wily thieves or the wild dogs who serve the Capra demon. So actually over near where Solaire there was a locked door. I didn't show it at the time, but we will actually be able to unlock this with a basement key. And in fact, we can go there right now if we wanted to go down to the lower Undead Burg first, but I recommend putting that off. really interesting to me that they not only kind of tell you about the boss and the dogs that are in the area, but they also give you a warning not to turn your back on the thieves, because those are one of the enemies that can actually do a special backstab attack on you. So, very interesting. They actually built that into the lore of the description on the item. The mystery key that we just picked up, the purpose of this key is unknown. It appears to be a basic prison cell key, which we definitely have a use for. And let me climb up this way. The autocorrect after rolling and performing an attack in this game isn't quite as good as in Bloodborne. I mean, it stands to reason that they've improved a lot of aspects of combat because it's a newer game. They had their experiences with this one. Large soul of a lost undead. And as we saw, souls are concentrations of life. We read that lore on the Alluring Skull. I don't think I've read a soul item yet, though. Soul of a lost undead who has long ago gone hollow. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. I wonder if, as you hollow, you lose... Like, this undead that this soul belonged to currently exists as a hollow. Like, it exists now as a hollow. But we have its soul, which is part of the source of its life. So, perhaps the undead, once hollowed, they continue to... How can I say this? They don't die, but they don't have... Well, I mean, I guess that's pretty fucking obvious, isn't it? They don't die, but they don't have life. Not having the soul is the reason why they don't have life. The soul has left the body. But I guess that means that in our case, we're a little bit different. Because our body's hollowing, but we still have our soul. So I guess that pretty much kind of confirms the difference between us and the little peon pissant enemies that we fight. Now, we can proceed through this white light, and this is actually the main path forward, but I want to show something, so I'm not going to go through there right now. But that's actually the normal, kind of quote-unquote normal way to go forward, if you didn't make that quick run that we did earlier to get behind the gate before the guy could lock it. And that's one of the really delicious things about Dark Souls, is like the split path there where you can go under the bridge, or if you run underneath the dragon, if you're really pimp about it, then you can do things a different way. Or here, if you run up there and make that leap and jump and get behind this gate before it closes, then you can proceed this way. But if you don't, then you have to go that way. Like, those kinds of little differences in the level flow, the level progression, are really awesome. Oh, I was too fast. Ooh. Got it. Nah, I guess because of the elevation difference between us on the stairs is probably what messed up my riposte there. Riposte. And here's the halberd. This is another weapon that we will probably be using a bit of. This is a special class of weapon that, compared to the swing speed and stamina usage, it does really good damage, but if you miss, it has a longer recovery. Long hilted weapon mixing spear and axe is difficult to handle, requiring both strength and dexterity. The halberd has two elementary attacks, spear-like thrusting and large sweeping swings. However, one false swing and the wielder is left wide open. And it goes ahead and tells you about that right there. So, thrusting attack, can do counters, kind of a spin, and you see that stagger there. You don't do the stagger animations if you actually hit the enemy with it. So they're really, really good weapons against bosses, both due to their range and their power. All of the halberd class weapons are pretty damn good. This should be almost broken. No, not really. It's got a lot more durability than I recalled. Come on. Come on now. This is risky. Yep. He hit me, and then as I tried to roll away, that's another enemy, obviously, that can do special backstab attacks. I don't know how far I need to run to get away from this dude either. Apparently a long fucking way. Ooh. That's much more like it. Titanite shard, excellent. That's one of our first, that's actually, I think that's the first upgrade material we've picked up so far. We were about to get one either way though. It's a guaranteed drop ahead. Well, it wasn't the first upgrade material, it's the first basic upgrade material we've picked up. Never mind, let me rephrase that. We actually have a lot of good stuff, but Titanite shards are fragments of the legendary slabs. Titanite is etched into weapons to reinforce. With the discovery of chunks in Lordran, the race to locate the legendary slabs has begun, but could they be mere myth? Not found outside of Lordran. I wonder why they went out of their way to say that it's not found outside of Lordran. I guess just to say, intriguing. This weapon reinforcing Titanite is imbued with a particularly powerful energy. After this Titanite was peeled from its slab, it is said that it received a special power, but its specific nature is not clear. Too fast. If I recall correctly, these guys actually cannot backstab. I think it's only the rapier ones. I'm not sure though. That's better. And another shard, that's really good. Can help us get our weapon game on point. This guy always gets it so bad. I'm playing online, so when you hear those bells ringing, it means that another player has actually defeated the boss area, the boss of this area. Really, really, really cool. Let me try that again. There we go. That ought to do it. Try to make a little sound. Apparently didn't do it. Hold on. I'm trying to be a show off here. But the enemy is not cooperating. Oh, there he comes. Yep. If you hit that wall over there, the sound actually causes him to run all the way over here. Don't even ask me how I figured that out, why I know that. I cannot even remember what situation. I guess I was fighting the spear guy at the end of the hallway and managed to hit the wall. And the sound prompted him to come. Need illusory wall. Ah, somebody's trying to trick people into hitting this wall. That's nasty. Because if you hit it, it's going to trigger this guy to come running. And it takes some time for him to get there. So if you engage this guy, he'll come up right behind you. And since he is a rapier one, he can do those backstabs. Here we see the little courtyard where we got the basement key. And the halberd. Now, what I want to show, this is where that knight came from. Normally he's standing here watching over this corpse, and you can walk up behind him and get a backstab. Praise the sun. It's a Balder Knight corpse right there in the first place. He dropped a knight shield. or not dropped, but he had a knight shield. This medium metal shield is elegantly carved and painted. Although it is thought to have been used by ancient knights of the nobility, its defense capabilities are similar to other shields. Interesting that it's a hollowed out Balder Knight watching over a Balder Knight corpse that had the knight shield. I don't know if mourning a brother or if he turned on himself. Really don't know. Looks pretty charred and blackened. But this area down here is actually where we were. This is the boar's courtyard down there. There's the bridge where we found the alluring skulls. And then the fire that we were luring the boar into. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because you actually can jump down here, apparently. But also, enter through the white light. The original versions of the game, you actually couldn't go through these backwards. And in some places, you would fall through the world if you tried to do it. And this one just wouldn't let you through. Like, it didn't have the prompt at all. So this is the area we were earlier. And I said this is the normal way to proceed through the level. And then I didn't do it. And that's why. And if I'm not mistaken, yep. You can roll right here, which you might be wondering why. Well, I mean, it works pretty well in multiplayer. If you're doing invasions and stuff like that in this area, you can actually dance around there a little bit, I guess. Alright, did I get everything I wanted to get from over there? I think I did. Yes, indeed. 2 ways to proceed here as well. Once again, everything in Dark Souls 1, there's always a different way to do it. You can run in there, there's this strong knight in here, but there's also an ambush up above that you can't possibly know about your first time. And just based off of instinct or feeling, I actually went around this side, which worked out really, really well for me. I'm going back to my blind playthrough. When I originally played the game, I was like, I don't know which way's best, but just kind of somehow I chose the right way. Oh, he was too far. Oh, he's still too far. There. And a hollow soldier shield, finally. Metal shield wielded by hollow soldiers. Heavily rusted but sturdy, providing a strong defense. The main thing about that is we have confirmation of what those things actually are. Not sure what the emblem is supposed to be. But I ran around like this right here for a long time in my first playthrough. Just because I like the way the shield looked. But its stability is 56 compared to 55 for the heater shield. And 56 for the knight shield. Actually, the hollow soldier's shield's pretty much just better than the knight shield. I believe this is the shield Petrus is actually wielding. Whatever. This big dude. You can parry. You can parry them, but you can't riposte. Oh, but if you screw up your parry, you'll regret it, so might not be the best course of action. Instead, just hang back and tried it. And he'll try to heal. Always drops a Titanite shard. Guaranteed drop right there from that knight. Can't get the lore off of him yet because he didn't drop any armor for us, but or rather, I don't think he even drops armor. I think they only drop weapons now that I think about it. We'll get the lore on him later. That ladies and gentlemen, pretty much going to wrap up this episode because my internet's pretty crap right now. We do have a new bonfire, though. And we can... I'm going to want more endurance. I know I'm going to want more endurance. It's just a question of how much more endurance I'm going to want. At least that much. Woo, fast rolling with the Drake sword. Holy shit. Guys, I am Marcus, also known as EMB. And I will catch you on the next episode of From the Dark. Later, y'all. We can do the thing. We can do the thing. Actually, we can really do the thing.